Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of One Credit Reviews. And as usual, I'm here with my down under buddy Daz, my trusted One Credit reviewer. Hey Daz, how you doing?
I'm doing well, mate. Trusted. That's nice. That's nice that you think of me that way.
Yeah, I've upgraded you since last time. A little bit.
Trusted.
You're now level 2.
No. Thank you, mate. I'm doing really well. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, same here. I'm doing good. And we're having a special episode this time because we got a very special rose-tinted guest on the show, none other than RoseTintedSpectrum. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to you as well.
Welcome.
This is your podcast.
Is it a podcast? I'm not sure what this
It's
is.
a vodcast.
Oh, it's a webcast, a vidcast, something along those lines.
We can see each other, but the viewers can't.
That's
thank
right.
God. And tell us about yourself, Rosie.
I am a man who lives in the UK.
He has a beard.
I have a beard. I have eyebrows and all the usual facial things. I run a YouTube channel called RoseTintedSpectrum, which to be honest, at this point, reviews pretty much everything. I'm not sure what direction I'm going in anymore. Retro games and indie games, as well as a podcast with a guy called Stu the Brummie, who's terrible at playing everything. Where
I've been on that one.
yes, you have.
I think.
Me and Stu play a game for 10 hours and then discuss whether or not it's worth playing any more of said game, or as is usually the case, just crying about how awful everything was for a solid hour before deciding never to touch the game ever again.
Well, if you want to know more about these lovely gentlemen, you can check the links in the description. Please feel free to click them. You know, you're supposed to do that with links, apparently.
Click it.
So, yeah, click it. Do it!
After this show.
So, we're going to have a look at a game called Osman that actually Rosie picked out. Thank you, Rosie, for that. Do you want to tell us some deep, dark secrets about the game?
Yeah, I don't know much about the game itself, other than I didn't know it existed until you asked me to pick a game. And I think it was on that day I saw somebody mention an unofficial Strider sequel, and I love Strider. I was looking into what happened with Strider, because Strider was such a massive game when it first released. Obviously, it got ported to every system under the sun. But then the sequels kind of went off in all kinds of directions.
Yeah.
Strider 2 was, depending on which one you play, was either the worst thing ever made or is actually a very, very good PlayStation 1 game.
Correct.
But then, I found out that Osman exists, which was the developers of Strider. And if you didn't know that beforehand, play the game for like 3 seconds and you'll think, oh, it's Strider.
Yes.
It's
Strider, all right.
Yeah. There's a hell of a lot that is essentially lifted back from Strider and used in a slightly different way. So that's
And improved upon, even, I would say.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Certainly the combat. It's a lot slicker. It's a lot faster, and it's also a lot harder. So.
And also a lot more obscure, which is kind of weird. I was surprised that very few people seem to know anything about this game, including myself.
It wasn't released outside Japan, I want to say.
It was actually.
Oh,
I
was
think
it?
Atlus actually published it outside, but there was a Western version, but I don't know where exactly they released it.
Okay.
Probably in the US, but I've never seen the game.
Me neither.
No,
I've never seen it here in Australia. I only discovered it probably about 2 years ago, scrolling through my main list, and I thought, what's this? And I was like, oh, it's this. I actually thought it was Strider, like a mod, like a clone or some kind.
Yeah.
But it ended up being the real deal.
The game is known as Osman in the West, but it's actually known as Cannon Dancer in Japan. Which is kind of interesting. And apparently, both the Western and the Japanese versions are pretty much exactly the same, apparently, so there are no differences, as far as I know, in gameplay. The game was developed by Mitchell Corporation and published by Atlus in February 96. And it's basically about a main character called Kirin, and he needs to defeat the evil Abdullah, the Slaver, a female sorceress who wants to take control of the world, and just in general be a complete prick. Not sure really why, but who cares? The story is not important, shall we say. And the game is, of course, very, very similar to Strider, and that is not entirely surprising, given that it was designed by Koichi Yotsu, also known as Isuke, who was a game planner on Strider back in '89 when he was working at Capcom. And Yotsui-san was originally actually studying film, but after his graduation he ended up at Capcom apparently because they paid very well and he needed money, I think. So they hired him, and he worked on several titles there initially under Tokuro Fujiwara, which is the designer of Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh.
But after he finished Strider, he left Capcom in '90 together with Akira Kitamura and Shinichi Yoshimoto to form the company Takeru. And after working on only one game there, he left together with several of the other Takeru employees and went over to Mitchell Corporation, where he worked up until '96, and after that he went freelance.
96 is pretty late for a game of this kind.
It is.
Yeah.
For an arcade game. It seemed to be mostly like Neo Geo stuff at that point.
Yeah.
And lots of fighters, not so many original games. So I suppose that could contribute to the fact why it's
so obscure.
kind of an obscure game.
PlayStation 1 would have been well into its beginning then as well. Everyone had kind of moved on to early 3D, hadn't they?
This would have suited the Sega Saturn perfectly.
Oh, yes, indeed.
It would.
And of the game he has worked on, I think Osman and Strider seem to have been the most noteworthy ones. But he also worked on The Speed Rumbler, Nostalgia 1907, Drakengard 2, Zero Time Dilemma, and some other games.
I've never heard of any of those games.
I've heard of them and I've not tried any of them.
Yeah, I think Nostalgia 1907 was kind of big in Japan. It was released for like the Sharp X68000 FM towns. So it was very much released locally in Japan. I don't think it ever arrived in the West at all. Yeah, and interestingly enough, and this is kind of good timing on your behalf, Rosie, the game will be released, Osman will be released next year for modern home systems like the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. It's going to be published by In Games. So, yeah, finally the game might get some well-deserved attention.
Yeah, just like nearly 3 decades later.
So we're going to have a look at each other's gameplay here, and since Rosie is the guest star of the show, he's going to go first. So, here we go.
So for once, I actually looked at the instructions prior to recording this, so that I knew what buttons to press. And amazingly, I didn't press the super special attack immediately, which is what I always do on arcade games. But yeah, it's very Stridery, isn't it?
It's very, very.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean the setting, the weird storyline, the fact that things change every 2 seconds. It's it's very much a game where if you didn't know it was the same developers, you would be probably lining up a lawsuit, I would say. But yeah, didn't do too well. That was one life down.
I'm kind of surprised Capcom didn't sue them anyway, because I think they retained the rights for Strider.
They have. That's why they ended up making a completely separate game. So.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So those robot things, you hit them a bit, and then they kind of bounce off in random directions.
Yeah.
With a shield on.
With a shield.
So you can't hit them, and they fire a laser, and then you have to go in.
Oh god, I hate these things.
Laser.
Yes.
I hate them.
Yes.
I hate them.
So initially, when I came across them, I didn't realise that you could kill them because I died very quickly there, as you can see.
I actually realised that you can see their hit points on top of the top right of the screen.
I've literally only just noticed that today.
Oh wow,
so
really?
Yeah.
We are busy killing the enemies, Daz, not admiring the ground.
Yeah. I mean, you can see here straight away. I paused for a second there because I was like, should I just restart this? I've already lost 2 health, and I'm not even out of the first section. It gets to the point where I'm like, well, there's no point in carrying on. I'm not going to get any further than I got last time. But I couldn't remember what the reset button was, so I just carried on.
It's kind of weird how the game kind of sometimes encourages you to do relentless button spamming, and other times kind of punishes you for it. So you're not quite sure how to deal with.
I hate this part of this level. I can't stand it.
It's a lot going on, isn't it? Yeah. This in the top right with all these bullets coming down. You have to kind of jump away before they start shooting, and then they don't
do
bother.
It quickly.
Yeah, they're like that pretty much. And then these robots always bloody get hit in as well. There we go.
Wow, you died in the same spot. Oh, you've actually a bit worse. Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, the game really wants you to just keep moving.
Yes.
Not just stay in the same place.
But you can only do that if you know what's coming up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. And the power-up system's a bit odd, I found. Because you get multiple versions of yourself, but I don't know if it... When you get hit, if you lose that power...
you lose one level.
I thought so.
And I think the colour of your pants will also show you what level you are.
Oh, really?
I think, it's kind of an interesting detail.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Instructions. If you get black pants, you're at the top maximum level.
Next time my wife complains about the colour of my pants, I'm just going to tell her it's making me more powerful.
Yes, that's what I tried to tell my girlfriend.
But these things are still bastards.
Yeah,
they are.
You can pretty much ignore it. Once you get past them, that's it. You don't have to do anything with them. But I mean, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What is this?
This is a bit like that Japanese shooter. What's it
Oh,
called?
yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Oh, jeez. The bodybuilding one, yeah? That's kind of strange.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Not quite as weird, but close.
No. This whole level from this point on goes very strange. I mean, you're kind of walking up a parking lot, I guess, and you have to beat up Ferraris. And then on top of a bank, you have to deal with these two guns. It's just it's all over the place.
It just looks so much like Strider. It's insane. Even the level design.
Yeah. The whole climbing around the edges of things is very, very Strider. And then first boss.
Oh, there's this guy.
Yeah. So.
You can stand there. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't stand there for long because he just flamethrowers the shit out of you.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad. You haven't even lost any power, man.
Nice.
I struggle.
Yeah. Well, just don't worry too much because I'd never been to level 2 before, so I last approximately 12 seconds.
And you can get refill your energy as well. I think there's 3 different.
There is, yeah. They
can
don't
even get more than 3.
They don't turn up very often. The health power-ups I've noticed.
No. There's one here at the start. Why put one here? It's like what a waste. When there's no enemies. See?
There's like two enemies, I think.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Yeah, and some of the power-ups are just score, which nobody wants.
Exactly.
This reminds me of Sonic Spinball or something.
Yeah. I like the way this thing from the first level comes back as like a mini-boss. I don't know what it is or why it exists, but I made a terrible decision here and locked myself into a corner instead of sliding under it.
I do like that there is a power bar for the enemies, like for the main bosses.
So I just died then, and I'm just about to die again. Because I had no idea what to do with these guys.
Oh, these tigers, yeah.
I've since found on later playthroughs just run past them and jump up that gap.
Yeah, the game seems to encourage you just
avoiding enemies.
Don't dawdle.
Yeah. So that was me.
That was you.
Good work.
Fair effort, Rose. So look, I did have a few goes on my Steam Deck a couple of days before. So look, I cheated a little bit just to familiarise myself because I thought I'm going to go into this show and just die in this part all the time like I used to when I played it ages ago. So I tried to familiarise myself a little bit. But
that's fine.
So look, I think I'm doing okay. I found that the more I played, the less I rushed. I just couldn't rush. If I took my time a little bit, I played a bit better. So I think I did okay here, but then there's that part later that just shits me to tears. Why did he? It's just little things like that frustrate me.
It's a game where you've kind of got to take your time. But in certain sections, if you do take your time, you're hammered.
Yeah,
everything will shoot you.
See this part? Yeah, I cannot stand it. These robots.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky moving sometimes and grabbing onto ledges when you want to.
I jumped to those stupid robots like an idiot.
Yeah, I've done that so many times playing it. Even now, I'll jump up and I forgot about the bloody robots.
Yeah.
I think you can get past them without triggering them. I think I did that by accident once.
Really?
Yeah, if you jump like really high onto the crate, I think they won't spawn.
So I did that.
But I mean, I want to kill the little bastards
Yes.
as well.
So I was happy I did that without losing losing any power. So that was alright.
Yeah, that's good. I assume this guy is like the main boss. Why? I don't understand
Yeah.
why he stood on top of a
Yeah.
limousine and he just shouts for this giant thing to turn up.
Yeah.
And then he just buggers off after that.
And how are these cars connected? Are these his children somehow? Or
I have no idea.
Maybe the children of this big
His
car?
children.
But they're on the side of a bank as well, so
Yes.
it's all
Yeah.
very confusing.
I mean, to be honest, if you had a bank, wouldn't you adorn the
Just
outside with cars,
Ferraris.
like expensive cars, Ferrari? I would do that. And diamonds. And lasers.
Oh no.
Yeah, really lost a
You're
lot.
lasered.
This part got me good the first time I was there. I was like, what is going on? And then I just stood in the middle and got fried.
Yeah, if you take that first one out really early, then you can just stick to the left-hand
Yeah.
side and they can't hit you.
See, here I didn't know what the hell was going on. This is the first time I fought him.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. He's a lot for a first boss.
Oh, yeah.
He's got so many attacks.
So yeah, that was my first go. I used to see this part always when I used to play it a while back. It's like, this is just ridiculous. And I
Yeah.
just used to get frustrated and never play it again. But there's actually a really good game here.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Yeah,
really.
really
responsive as well. I just find it amazing that even like the level layout is so similar to Strider.
Yeah.
Like the very first level of Strider has a very similar opening to this. And
Yeah.
there's sections later on, because I've been playing it on my Steam Deck. I was playing it this morning and got the furthest I'd gotten, and there are sections in it that are literally just lifted wholesale from Strider. I don't know, it's difficult to say that it's just taking what Strider did and redoing it, because it doesn't quite feel the same as Strider. It feels a lot slicker than Strider. And
It's a near Strider experience.
yeah,
Really.
But I think the level design is all over the place, though.
it is a bit.
Let's just chuck
Yeah.
this there. Let's just chuck
Yeah.
that there. Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of puts me off.
Well, to be fair, when you play through Strider is very similar to
It's
that.
similar
Strider,
to, yes.
It
Strider
is.
changes
Disconnected.
constantly. Because you go from like an airship to fighting dinosaurs in dinosaur worlds for some reason.
Yeah.
And I actually thought that maybe it was the same graphical artist, but I don't think there's any artists that work on
really?
Strider that worked on this one. But maybe the designer actually helped create the visuals as well, because they do look very similar
do.
in style.
I think this has more of a fighting game look to it. I think it's just the sprite of the main guy himself looks like he's taken from King of Fighters or something like that.
yeah.
Ah, yeah.
That wrecked again.
Ugh.
Oh, damn.
This was my last try. Oh, I was just thinking, I'm not going to stop playing until I beat that boss, because I just didn't want it to beat me. I was getting so frustrated.
Yeah. I mean, I've only ever gotten past that boss by just spamming the special attack.
Yeah. See what I mean? Look, I've already lost 2.
Yeah.
I was like, at this time, I'm like, why am I even bothering? Again, like you, Rosie, I was like, I couldn't be asked resetting the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Life down already.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is the pinball the pinball rules. So normally, what happens is, if you try and play a game of pinball and you die on the first ball really quickly, then you just give up and start again.
Yeah.
But on those times where you don't, that's when you get your highest score for,
That's
for
right.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last ball lasts
Yes.
for like an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
That's incredible. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on visually when you kill the enemies.
Yeah.
I found that a
Yeah.
little bit confusing. When
Yes.
you've got arms and legs flying
Yes.
and explosions, and you can't see what they're doing. You can't see their telegraphs.
No, there is a lot
or
going on.
telegraphing their next attack. So that got me so many times.
Yeah, it's
But
very.
you do kind of get into it. It's
It's a lot of
See?
visual flair going
Yeah.
on.
But see, look at this. Now I'm kicking goals here. It's like, what's going on?
kicking cars even.
I know, there you go. So something, look, I haven't even used my supers yet. I usually use one there already. So I think I was just playing a bit smarter. Except for there. Wasted that. And I was like, What the hell? It is. I did it. I was like, you're kidding me.
That's two specials. That's it.
Yeah.
Really?
And a few kicks. There's a few kicks.
Ah, yeah, true.
One thing that I'll say about the boss design is they are very difficult, but they're not health pools that you have to spend ages draining. They're quite quick to down if you know what to do. It's just they're also quite quick to down you.
That's right.
So it balances out quite well.
So what's frustrating? You don't get any of your supers back.
No,
That's not fair.
so it's.
I don't know if you do. Maybe you don't get them at all. I'm not sure.
I don't know if that's maybe what those S pickups are. That I was thinking was score. Maybe you've just got a limit of 3. But I don't know, because I always just died as soon as I lost all of my specials anyway. So
yeah, I got this is nothing. It's just tigers. I'll kill the tigers, and I died.
Oh wow, you
Same
took one
place
down.
as you. So yeah, I'm cursing. I could have got further if I didn't lose that life at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, good show.
Steady progress, though.
Yeah.
So here's my first attempt, and I did also check the controls, so it's not my absolute first one. So
Did you use a keyboard?
Expect some screw-ups. No, I'm using my X-Arcade stick, and
good.
I just thought it's a better idea to do that for this one because you guys have been telling me how hard this is. And it's tricky. But, I mean, this game clicked with me immediately. I really had a great time straight away. Just something very satisfying, kicking these, whatever they are. Let's just see them turn into a red mist. Deeply satisfying. Sounds a bit psycho, I know.
Yeah.
There's some problems there. Grabbing on.
Yeah, latching on can be a bit of a trial and error.
Yeah, that's true.
Seems like you're grabbing, but you're not.
Yeah. I do think it's funny, one of the later bosses tells you off for not using a weapon.
Oh wow!
Like, how dare you come to this fight and just kick people?
That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I have to say, you're playing a lot more fluidly than Rosie and I.
Oh, don't worry. Things will change soon enough. And these projectiles are so slow. You get me every time. I think, I can jump over. No, you can't because it's a super slow-mo laser blast.
I found that sliding towards every enemy tended to be the best way to deal with bullets and stuff.
Not trying to... and these guys got me the first time, of course. It's so... really evilly placed that power up there. When you jump to get it, you will trigger the robots.
Oh, everyone's favourite Egyptian heads.
Yep,
How
spinning
freaking
around.
random is that?
I think I'm doing decently well here. I think I even attacked this guy from behind.
I do like, it's a nice touch that those enemies that you don't kill below are cheering on the Egyptian heads from below the platform.
Yeah, that's a cool little touch.
Yeah.
This one would just confuse the crap out of me. What am I supposed to attack here? And am I supposed to pick up the butterflies? No, you're not.
No.
Going to just spoil that.
Yeah.
Don't touch the butterflies.
It's such an odd design choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's it. I was trying to think of the game still. Choaniki. That's what that reminds me of. Choaniki.
Oh yeah, Choaniki. Yeah. That I'm going to show the a clip from that one. It's such a weird game.
I've only ever seen screenshots of it. I don't think I've ever played it.
It's actually, I don't think it's a very good game.
You don't have to. It's totally weird. Just watching it's weird.
It's out there, especially the first level boss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one is so bizarre. I played for about 13 minutes in total.
Okay.
And then plus 3 more minutes.
One thing I noticed, because I was sorting out my controller after I'd started the game like an idiot, but those enemies right at the start, if you just stand there and don't do anything, they don't attack you. They just wander
No,
around.
they don't.
It's very odd.
Do you ever get anything from the crates, by the way?
No.
Nah.
And-
They're just in the way.
yeah, I think that they're just obviously, because obviously you can jump over them, but why do that when you can kick things to death?
Yeah, exactly. It's quite satisfying destroying the crates, even.
It is, isn't it?
And I'm just getting hit constantly here.
You really are getting hit by everything.
Just collecting lasers. And you see how I got that thing without triggering them?
Yes.
I think if you climb up, you can avoid the robot. But what's the point? It's so nice kicking them.
Yeah, just get yourself in the right position and spam that kick button.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I was exactly the same as you. Very first game, I was like, I really like this, just immediately.
Yeah. And here I'm doing worse than my first attempt, which is shameful. So I'm going to have to show my last attempt, which I'm doing far better. And this is actually the day after I recorded the first time. I just felt I need to try that boss again. Yeah. And things went much better. There's a steady progression going on in the game. It's certainly not the most difficult arcade game, but it is tricky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I think if you're first introduced to it, it's like this is just hard, and you kind of give up like I did. But once you get to know the game, it's actually really enjoyable. I'm actually glad you chose this.
So am I.
One of the, again, the easiest thing to compare it to is Strider, because Strider is exactly the same. I think a lot of people say, "Oh, I really like Strider," and Strider's a classic, but I don't think many people have properly sat down with it and learned how to play through it. And because I've one credited it, and it took ages to learn. But once you do it, I don't know, it's like the game, much like this one, it kind of turns the game into an action film, because you're doing everything so perfectly that it just looks amazing. Just watching it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So, I did see somebody in the comments for a long play of this saying this would make it the best action film, and I can't say that they're wrong. It would be an amazing kung fu film. I've seen that this may also be a spiritual prequel to Strider, because there are some characters that are from families that are in Strider, from what I was reading. So I think they've kind of cheated their way into bringing it into the Strider universe by naming characters with the same names. Yeah. Oh, you got through them lasers, okay?
Yeah, that was pretty decent. And now I still get confused by this one. I'm convinced that I can't stand on that slopey thing, so I try very hard to avoid that. And now, what am I supposed to do here? And I can't. Yeah,
they're complete asses for putting that power up next to the bottom of that wheel, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Many dick moves. And it's interesting that the special attack, it's not like a mega bomb, or what do you call it, like a
smart, not like an all-screen clear.
Yeah.
No, it only clears or just hurts stuff that actually that you're touching. So that's pretty interesting.
So you didn't beat the boss?
No, I didn't.
It's a shame.
Yeah, let's have a little bit of a look at the technical side of things. And Rose is just going to fall asleep while I talk about that. The game is apparently running at a resolution of 320 by 240 at 58 hertz. Don't ask me why, but 58 hertz it is. Weird. And it's running it's using 4096 colors on screen at the same time, I believe. And it's using a ARM CPU running at 28 megahertz. I didn't think that ARM CPUs were that common in arcade games, but hey, it's 1996, so get with the times. And it's got an 8-way joystick with 3 buttons. That's pretty much it. So guys, got anything to say about the game?
I have to say I've gotten to really appreciate this game, and I really enjoy it now. Yeah, I'm glad that it was chosen. So yeah, I think I'll spread the word as well and get tell it to all my friends and say you're gonna need to play this game because it's good. Yeah, if anything,
we will come and punish you.
If anything, I reckon if I play a lot more, this is probably a big thing to say, but I reckon I'll probably enjoy it more than Strider in the end. I just think it's got more.
Yeah, I enjoyed this more than Strider. I mean, Strider is a good game, but I've never really been that into it. But this one I just immediately clicked with, as I said. I really enjoyed it immediately.
Yeah.
And it is a rewarding game. It's got slow and steady progress. It's not as stupidly hard as some arcade games. It does kind of, it's a bit like a Sierra Online arcade game. If you don't know what's ahead, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Once you know, it gets much more manageable, even though it's still pretty hard. But it's so satisfying.
It is.
So meaty.
What are your thoughts? Yeah.
It's a game of trial and error, but it's also a game where if you do have the reflexes, you can react just quick enough to get out of losing health. And you kind of have to have that reflex anyway, because even if you do know what's coming up, one stray laser going a direction that it doesn't normally go will absolutely ruin you if you don't have the have your eyes on the prize, so to speak. So yeah, it mixes a lot of stuff together, and I think it's important to do that, because if it is just solid trial and error and it's just pressing the right buttons at the right time, then there would be no joy in it. It's just a case of, I guess,
It would be Dragonlad.
yeah,
basically.
pretty much.
Nothing bad about Dragonlad. It's just very QTE.
Dragonlad is terrible.
It's not fun, no, but it's nice to watch someone play. That's fun. Playing it yourself, maybe
Well, you can
not
just
so
watch a
much.
film.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can watch it on YouTube actually, so you don't have to play it.
Exactly. But yeah, it's a beautiful game, and I will be carrying on with it until I beat it, I reckon.
You mean Dragon Slayer, right?
No, I will never play Dragon Slayer ever again.
So, are we ready to pass judgment?
Oh, yeah, how many? We've got to rate it. We have to rate it with cogs, don't we?
We do. We absolutely have to do that because that's what people do these days.
All right.
So, I think Rosie should go first.
I would say, big fan of Strider, and that I would give a 4 out of 5. I think this is probably edging above Strider, so possibly a 5 out of 5 for me for the time it came out and the type of gameplay and how quickly I've got into it. Yeah, I think it's top tier.
Yeah, so 5 out of 5. I'll give this a 4 out of 5. I don't think it's not a perfect game for me, but it's a lot of fun. I think it's great. Great game.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with Rosie. I would say 4.5, but I'm not allowed to say that. So I'm going to say 5 as well. And it's not a perfect game, but it really is very captivating and very compelling. And it's quite some time ago that I've actually encountered a game that I connected with on the first attempt.
Yes.
So quickly. So 5 gears, 5 cogs. Good work, game.
Yeah, and well done to me for choosing it.
Well done.
Hooray!
Well, beware.
Why is it called Osman?
I have no idea. I did try and look for information about that. I could not find any. And I think maybe it's
a Middle
they
Eastern
just
name.
added that for the Western audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what the hell is a cannon dancer anyway?
Well,
Yeah.
true. But at least Strider was named after Strider.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was thinking,
Yeah.
so the main guy's called Osman, but he's not called Osman. He's called some
No,
other name.
his name Kirin.
Yeah.
And Kirin is a boring name for a game. So
It certainly is. Yeah.
maybe his name Kirin Osman.
Yeah, could be. Kieran Osman sounds like a singer from the 70s.
Maybe he is. Maybe he is. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this peek at Osman, also known as the Cannon Dancer. And I am very disappointed that there aren't any actual cannons. Well, maybe there are further on in the game. Or maybe that thing you kind of kick once in the game on the first stage.
I'm not
maybe
sure
that is
that's a cannon. I thought it was like an old school water boiler. That's kind of what it looks like to me.
Yes. Or maybe a septic tank.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, quite possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed about that, but maybe it will be explained on the last stage, but I'm guessing no, there's not going to be dancing cannons.
No.
Or maybe he's a loose cannon. Maybe Kieran is a loose cannon that's dancing.
Could be. Really stretching it.
I know.
I'm trying. Help me out, guys. Please help me out here. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me here, and thanks to the viewers for watching, and we will be back, and hopefully with Rosie at some point as well. Always welcome here.
Yeah.
For sure,
Joining
man.
us.
Always.
Next game, Strider 2.
On the Mega Drive? No.
Oh,
Or
God.
Dragon Slayer,
Oh, God,
maybe.
no.
Dragon Slayer.
No, not Dragon Slayer. I'm never coming back.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks all.
Thanks, guys. Catch you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.